James Tynion and Jorge Jimenez pit Batman and Miracle Molly against Scarecrow as the two race to stop the trauma bomb from going off, but Peacekeeper 1's newfound evolved fear looks to stop them from succeeding. James Tynion continues Fear State with another rather dull issue that goes exactly where I assumed it was going to go, which is another fight between Peacekeeper and Batman and the same tired dialogue being repeated over and over again. I don't know how many times in this event Batman has been told he's the wrong type of hero for the city needs to evolve, fear is good, and the people in the city need to evolve, but it's ever so boring now since it's been repeated so many bloody times. Story-wise, I'm trying to find something that I actually liked about this issue but can't. It's a penultimate issue of Fear State and Tynion's time on the book, but it's just so lackluster and doesn't contain anything new or exciting. Jorge Jimenez continues to prop up the book greatly with his just outstanding fast-paced colourful artwork. I really liked the pages where he drew what we saw from Peacekeeper's point of view, which was Batman, and then Batman's point of view, where we saw Peacekeeper 1. It was rendered with such care and detail, and it's a shame it's covering a really dull story. Batman issue 116 continues the really monotonous and dull Fear State event, with a penultimate issue that continued repeating many of the things we've known since the very beginning of the event, with only its amazing artwork keeping it from being a total bore. I'm going to give this issue a 5 out of 10. Batman issue 116 finds the Magistrate breach Eden, beginning their search for Poison Ivy when their suits begin finding some kind of interference. The interference is coming from Ghostmaker, who confronts the men, knowing he promised not to kill, but he will make their lives living agony for the next few strokes of his blade. The hero cuts his way through the men, not impressed with their lackluster skills, as Ivy meanwhile is angered at what has happened, knowing this always happens and she will never be left alone, so there will be no paradise in Gotham until it is razed to the ground. Mr. Wise reminds her of the millions of innocents living in the city, but Pamela has had enough, exploding her vines throughout the city. Batman and Miracle Molly meanwhile race through the sewers to locate Scarecrow and the Think Machine, tracking the machine's power signature. They feel the rumble of Ivy's vines making it topside as Batman knows the Magistrate must have gone for Poison Ivy, and because of it, she would collapse the entire city, which means they are running out of time. Soon they find the Scarecrow, who tells the heroes time is up. Batman makes it known he's already being deprogrammed from the villain's mind control, and Jonathan expected that, but what makes his control of the Hatter tech so good is that the people who use the Insanity Collective's tech are susceptible to it. He flips a switch on his controller, causing Molly to scream in pain, telling Batman that if he takes another step, he will continue to increase the intensity until she is nothing but a hollow shell. He tells Batman the Insanity Collective's ideology is backwards, showing Batman how unfit they are to deal with true unadulterated fear without a life of suffering. He tells Batman to bring Molly with him as he shows them Sean, telling the hero that the man has experienced so much trauma, and thanks to the Insanity Collective's machines, he's feeling it all and more right now. Scarecrow tells the heroes that his brain is rewriting itself to process all of this trauma, and because of it, he's evolving into the perfect leader to guide himself from the fear state to the future state of Gotham. He reveals that this is why he pushed for Saint to recruit Sean Mahoney, since his insecurities and natural fears were so easy to exploit. Batman demands that Molly be freed, but the villain refuses to, not until the process is complete, showing Batman that her mind is expanding. Batman quickly throws a batarang at the distracted villain, knocking the control from his hand as Crane screams he won't let Batman ruin this. He gets the control back, laughing as he remembers how fun all of this was, knowing that while he tried to stay above it all unlike all of the other villains, it is a fun game. Batman tries to get him to let Molly go, but he refuses since Molly needs to learn that fear is strong. Suddenly Crane is shot in the back, falling over as Peacekeeper 1 gets up off the table, knowing that it was time he shut up. Batman deactivates the controller, allowing Molly to regain her mind as he asks if Sean can see that Crane and Saint were using him. Sean says that he can see a lot of things now, like how where Crane and Saint's ego blinded them to what the city actually needs. He knows that it's not about order like Saint thinks, it's about power. Batman tells Molly to go and disarm the bomb as Mahoney Tony fetches up one of his fallen soldiers' masks, etching in his #1 number on it and donning it as he proclaims that he'll be the hero Gotham needs him to be, since he can bring order through fear, and maybe when he kills Saint, he'll keep Scarecrow on as a retainer, if he survived the gunshot, that is. As Ivy's vines continue to grow through the city, Peacekeeper 1 knows it's awakening and it's ready for a new face of justice. He tells Batman that he isn't enough to save Gotham, calling the hero just a kid in a Halloween costume, and he's no better than Scarecrow. Batman and Peacekeeper viciously fight one another as Molly gets to work disarming the bomb, but can't determine where the Insanity Collective tech starts and where the Scarecrow tech ends. Luckily, Scarecrow is still alive, so she goes to him for some answers as Peacekeeper smashes Batman through a wall, wondering if the hero is getting tired, since he's not, thanks to Saint's nanomachines reinforcing his skeleton, so he's only getting stronger. Batman barely dodges his blade as the villain tells him that he's an old idea trying to solve an old problem in an old way. Batman throws exploding batarangs onto the villain, blowing up his armor as Molly awakens Crane, demanding he show her how to stop the bomb. Crane, however, knows that Batman will die and Gotham will evolve, and she can resist and die or let him make her better. In Eden, Ghostmaker finishes off the Magistrate's men but knows it's not safe there anymore. Ivy continues to make things worse as she restrains Mr. Wise, knowing that she will not be listening to men like him again. Harley Quinn returns, knowing that she'll listen to her as Harley reveals that she has brought Gardner and the lost piece of Ivy back, hoping that she will listen to them all.